have to do this!
Carl here from Brrraaains Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com. Horror movie review time, taking a look at a bit of a stinker here. Coming from the writing and directing duo of Daniela Carvalho and Ale Machado, Deep Hatred is an extremely boring horror movie where an excruciatingly slow pace will put most asleep way before it gets to its abrupt and really rushed finale. Sarah Drust stars as Cindy, a young woman who has returned to her childhood home farm in the country with her boyfriend Mark, played by Jeremy Sless, along for the ride. In this group, we have her childhood friend Nathan, played by Evan Judson, and his girlfriend Jennifer, played by Marcelia Marquez. Here for support, as the reason why Cindy has gone home is because her father has recently passed away. Once back, the couple's plan to have a nice time while she gets her father's affairs in order. Really, really simple setup, nothing wrong with that. However, it does turn out that he and Nathan's grandfather were involved in some sort of religious cult, drowning people in a nearby lake, one of which now returns to extract its revenge upon the family. That's your horror setup. Now, if Deep Hatred had spent more time focusing on the cult backstory and the drowned villain, it might have been at least a passable movie. Instead, it spends more time focusing almost all its runtime on confected drama within the couples, which is something that should have at least made them characters, but even that is sacrificed at the altar of who is into who. Yes, it's one of those where it's less about them as characters and more about I fancy you and secretly love you and X amount of rubbish like that. It doesn't help that the cast play their roles with a dryness that will have you begging for the spirit to pick them up and throw them into the lake. At least then, something semi-interesting would be happening. The spirit itself is one of the few bright points of the movie, and I use that term quite loosely, specifically because of how it looks more than anything else. Yet, aside from doing standard ghostly things we've seen 1,000 times before, it doesn't really make a proper appearance until the end of the movie, where the movie suddenly hits a frantic high gear, turns into something akin to a slasher, and then just ends.
Someone in here.
It's almost like everyone was just desperate to get this over with, didn't really have a great ending to write, and just thought, do all of this really, really fast, and then we can get out of here and go to a restaurant. So that's Deep Hatred, a movie that is unimpressive in every way. A trite and tedious experience that lacks a good story, good characters, and most importantly of all, good horror. What do you think? Have you seen it? You got any thoughts on it? You know what to do? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?